Hello everybody, and welcome to my channel. I haven't been here in a while. I haven't posted a video in a while because life happens, you go through some things. But anyway, so I am posting this video in rebuttal to a comment that someone left on one of my videos um, concerning Progress Residential. And yeah, in my video, I said what I said. So to the person who commented on my video, they said that I was bashing the company and that I should pay my rent on time and that yeah, I could have left 3 years ago. Um, yeah, you're right. I could have left 3 years ago. Um, does that mean that that company is good? Does that still mean that the company is not a piece of crap? Because it is. Yeah, I could have left 3 years ago. But here are the reasons as to why I have not left the company. Um, Number one, I was bullied into taking my unit, for one. Um, so legally, when you find a property, you put a deposit down. If you do not take possession of the unit, the company is supposed to refund you back your money. Now, a lot of times companies will not refund you back your application fee, or they may not refund you back the $200-300 hold that you put on to hold the unit, but they're supposed to refund you back everything else if you do not have keys and don't take possession of the unit. So, as I stated in the previous video, when I was talking about Progress Residential, I actually found a property that was cheaper and larger than the unit that I'm in now, but they wouldn't give me back my money. I didn't have keys, I hadn't taken possession of the unit yet, so I had no choice but to take the unit. It was either take the unit or me and my kids would be on the street homeless, which is not something that I wanted. So I took the unit. I stayed in the unit after the first year went by because I had a whole bunch of issues with this unit. So within the first 30 days, my pantry doors came off. And the reason why they came off, it wasn't because me and my kids were overly harsh with the doors, sliding them, opening them, closing, whatever. It's because they weren't hung properly. So the doors came off. Um, the second issue that I had being in this unit that they covered up really well was I ended up fighting an infestation. I ended up fighting bugs. So I had to get pest control to come into my unit. Yeah, imagine that. So I had to put out more money for that. So if you move into a home, there shouldn't be bugs. I mean, yeah, you get pest control because you want to control your bugs, but your home should not be infested when you move in. And needless to say, when I said that, no one ever got back to me about anything. The next issue that I had within this unit was electrical. Every time I turned around, all of my electrical sockets around my kitchen and in my living room, they were going out. They were shorting out. I couldn't even plug a socket into the wall without it falling out. You know, like when you put your plug into the wall so it was a nice snug and fit. No, I didn't. That was a problem. So then the next thing that started happening was because of the electrical problems, my stove was shorting out. So I had to keep calling the company for them to come out and fix that. The next thing was the mold was something that I had to keep fighting. Now, luckily, it wasn't black mold, so I knew how to fix it. I knew to go in, clean it, recalk it, and paint back over it. Because I learned this from my days when I was in school and I did construction and I rehabbed houses. So these are things that I knew. Um, oh, the next issue that I ended up fighting was the floor planks. I guess when they cut the floor planks on the floor for the faux wood floors, they didn't compensate for the wood expanding and contracting. So now the plates shift back and forth. That's the issue that I have with that. And I mean, like, some people like, oh, these are minor issues, things like that. But I'm not the only one. I am not the only one who has issues or who has problems with this company. And also, I don't know if I mentioned in the last video, I had an issue, like a rent issue, but it wasn't because of non-failure to pay rent, as someone said, as the person who commented on the video said, I need to pay my rent on time. I pay my rent on time. My rent is always paid on time. I don't have an eviction, because if my rent wasn't paid on time, I still would not be in my unit. But I also tell you why I'm still in my unit after I clear up the other issue. I got laid off from my job due to COVID, as a lot of people got laid off from their job due to COVID. Had to go on unemployment. I got rental assistance, everything, you know. So I was laid off. I wasn't working. So for about 3, 4 months, I was home before I went back to work. So yeah, I got help with rental assistance. So, in the process of getting help with the rental assistance, what initially happened was I applied for it. The money was supposed to go to Progress Residential. They got one payment when they were supposed to get three. They lost two of the checks. Progress Residential lost two of the checks, which they, now, mind you, when I called and I said, hey, what happened to the checks? They said they got all three of the checks. Progress Residential told me, I was told by two employees on 2 different days, that they got both of the checks, and that they didn't know why that one check was deposited, but the other two wasn't deposited. So in between that time, between going back and forth with Progress Residential, and the agency, I started incurring all these fees. Almost like $4,000 worth of rent and late fees, and them sending me notices saying, hey, if you don't pay, you have to turn over possession of the unit, yada, 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 whatever. When I tell you I had to email everybody under the sun in the company for the notices to stop coming and for them to do something about it, it was ridiculous. I'm at work, leaving my desk to make all these phone calls, and in between I'm worried about my kids. I'm like, what is going to happen? How's this going to be fixed? How's it going to be corrected? Now, I'm fighting this after I went back to work, but I was also fighting this process, when I was home, trying to figure out what happened to all this money that this company was supposed to have on my behalf to pay my rent during COVID. So, and now I'm upset, I'm panicking, my anxiety is up on 10 because I'm trying to figure out what's going on. So finally, it took me 6 months to get this situated. 6 months. And on top of that, going back to work, I'm still paying my rent, but it's still showing that I have $4,000 worth of fees that I owe this company, that I shouldn't owe this company, because all this was supposed to be taken care of, because all three of the checks were sent at one time, but they only applied one, but they lost two. But mind you, I'm not the only person who has issues with this company. To the person who said Progress Residential is such a great company and they come out and do this and they come out and do that. It took me 5 months for them to come out and fix my fence in the backyard after it fell down. And then they still fixed the wrong side. So, I mean, for this company to be so great, I'm just saying. I'm in a group where there are thousands of people who rent from this company who have issues. Like the group that I'm in, there's one young lady who got her house, went into the house. They didn't clean the house. The house has severe water damage, and they would not give this woman back her money. And she had a 9-month-old baby, and she had two toddlers. So now, on top of that, they didn't want to give her back her money. She had to leave the unit because the unit was uninhabitable. It was not fit for any human person to live in. So now she had to get a lawyer to fight this company to get her money back, to be able to go and get something else. But yet at the same time, oh my gosh, I'm bashing this company. I'm not bashing this company. I'm telling my experience, my turmoil that I have had with this company. I'm not bashing anybody. My experience is my experience, just like other people's experiences are their experience. This is not bashing. These are facts, because these are facts that happened to me in my situation. So I'm not bashing anybody. But the reason why I am still in this home is because of stability for my kids. Do I have to sit through and go, they go up on my rent? Yes, they do. But don't get me wrong. I've tried to go to other properties, but as soon as I find a property that's cheaper than what I have, it goes just like that. So I have to wait for somebody to call me back. Even dealing with a realtor, I have to wait for them to call me back. I have to wait for this and I have to wait for that. And then I decided, okay, well, I'm going to start the process of buying a home. I start the process, been through the whole first time home buyers program and everything. And it's not that hard of a process. But the housing market is crap today. You can't, by the time I go and I find something, even to put a bid on, it's gone. It's already off the market because I'm not the only one looking at that property. It's literally first come, first serve. It's how it's going. And then, so for someone to say that I am bashing this company, or oh, I need to pay my rent on time, or I need to get my facts together. No, I have my facts together. My facts are together. I paid my rent on time. I'm not bashing this company. I'm talking from experience. And like I said, I would not recommend this company to a dying cat. And I said what I said, period. And whoever don't like it, oh well, oh well. Not my problem, not my business, nor is it my day to care. But this is my experience with this company. And I do not like it. But at the same time, I'm here because the way things are, it's like, where am I going to go? You know, I could leave and end up in being in a worse situation that I'm already in, you know. But that's not to say that I'm not looking or I'm not trying to get from up under my situation. But I'm also smart enough to know not to make a move that's not going to be beneficial for me and my kids. I am not going to put my children in a situation that they don't need to be in. But guess what? This is America. I have freedom of speech, and I can say what I want to say, when I want to say it, and how I want to say it on any given day, just like anybody else can. And I value the opinions of everybody because guess what? We all have them, and that's okay. But also, in hindsight, the reality of it is the only person who can speak about my situation and what I am going through is me. Just like I cannot speak about any other person's or anybody else's situation and what they are going through because guess what? I do not know. But to the person who commented on my last video, since you want to assume that I am not paying my rent on time, or that I was bashing this company and that you needed more clarity, I hope this cleared things up for you. You have a good day. Bye now.